Closed captioning on NBC6 is brought to you by City Furniture, offering same-day delivery 7 days a week.
Welcome back. 5:56 is the time. Our Election Day coverage is just getting started right here on NBC6.
And good morning. Election Day is here, and dozens of people are already getting online. In fact, the line started about 5 o'clock this morning, and this is the case at precincts throughout South Florida. I'm Steve Litz. A live report from a polling place coming up.
And good morning. I'm Trina Robinson, live from Broward EOC. All systems ready to go. We'll have the very latest from here coming next.
And remember to keep up with election news all day long today and tomorrow. Log on to NBC6.net/newsnet. We'll have election updates and live reports you won't see anywhere else.
All from your one source for election 2008. It's on the web at NBC6.net.
From South Florida's news leader, this is Today in South Florida on NBC6 HD.
And good morning. It is Election Day, Tuesday, November the 4th, 2008. The time is just a few seconds before 6 a.m. I'm Bob Mayer.
Welcome back, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nice to have you with me once again, and I'm Pam Giganti. Thank you for joining us. We have waited for this day for a long time.
Forever.
It has been a very long campaign, has it not?
Yes,
Probably
it has.
one of the longest in American history.
But it has garnered more attention than any I can remember in my life.
A lot of excitement surrounding it. But before you head to the polls this morning, we want to check on the forecast. Here is meteorologist Ryan Phillips with an update for us and a touch of fog out there this morning, Rye.
Bob, Pam, so far this morning, we've had a little bit of fog out across the western areas. Don't let that throw you, though. It'll be a very short-lived event. We'll be looking for sunshine to take over as we progress through the afternoon hours. A hint of light out there. We still have sunrise coming in about a half hour. This is a live look down across the skies in Key West, where they are mostly clear, just a few clouds. More clouds up across the peninsula. Temperature trend going this way. We're into the lower 70s for the most part. Some locations into the upper 60s. We'll pretty much stop the cooling process right now and then start to slowly warm up here for the next few hours. 68 in Kendall, that's the cool location. 69 in Homestead, 69 Opelika, with 70 in Pembroke Pines. Again, especially the western areas, mostly cloudy skies, a little bit of patchy fog. Will gradually burn through the cloud cover. It is rather extensive across the peninsula first thing this morning. We'll get through this. We'll get to the sunshine as the day progresses, but not looking for much in the way of rain today, nor for the next few days. So extra clouds out there this morning, about 70, 84 this afternoon, partly sunny skies and a refreshing breeze out of the north and northeast. That'll drive the seas up to about 2 to 4 feet for the boaters. The bay waters, a light chop and surf temp holding on at 79. More weather in just a bit. Right now, time for traffic and Metro Traffic's Kristen Kelly. Morning, Kristen.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, South Florida. I-95 north and southbound around Griffin Road. You can see here traffic picking up steadily as you're making your way, especially northbound. We had an earlier accident, I-95 northbound just after Sheridan Street. Apparently it was very minor because it's already up and out of your way. As you're making your way southbound from 595 down to the Golden Glades, your ride right now going to be just about 19 minutes. Also, as we take a look in Miami-Dade, I-95 north and southbound in and out of the Golden Glades, you can see here traffic moving as normal. That congestion building as you move on your southbound commute, making your ride right now accident-free, but about almost 20 minutes as you make your way from this point right on down to US 1. That's the latest on your traffic and weather together, and we go back to your news.
Well, it has been nearly 2 years in the making, and today voters will decide who will run this country for the next 4 years. John McCain and Barack Obama logged thousands of miles just yesterday alone. Who wins will depend on half a dozen swing states, including Florida. Brooke Hart now with more on Decision 08.
Red turned blue overnight in New Hampshire. Two tiny towns that voted George Bush twice picked Barack Obama this year. Dixville Notch 15-6. A hopeful start to Election Day for Barack Obama, who arrived home in Chicago. John McCain returned to Arizona, hitting 7 states in one day.
The enthusiasm and the momentum that we've received, we're going to win tomorrow, and we're going to be this. We're going to bring home to Arizona.
Obama ended his day in Virginia.
Virginia, let's go change the world.
Hours earlier, the political collided with the personal. Obama's grandmother, Madeline Dunham, succumbed to cancer without knowing if the man she helped raise from age 10 would become president.
She has gone home.
Obama told Charlotte, North Carolina, Americans like her are his cause.
North Carolina, in just one more day, we have the opportunity to honor all those quiet heroes all across America.
Election battlegrounds are states like North Carolina and Virginia that voted Bush in 2004.
We're going to keep Virginia red.
Polls show new voters, minorities, and young people could reverse the Commonwealth's 44-year record of voting Republican for president. East to west, McCain urged turnout. He's optimistic.
We're going to win this election, and it's going to start in New Mexico.
Anticipation is high. Campers in Atlanta showed their determination to be first in line. Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio are the tightest races in the East. They are the states to watch tonight for clues about how this day may well end. In Richmond, Virginia, Brooke Hart, NBC News.
Thank you, Brooke. Governor Sarah Palin's medical records have been released, and doctors are giving her a clean bill of health. Senator McCain's campaign released a summary of Governor Palin's medical history last night. She did have a breast biopsy in 1992 for what turned out to be a benign lesion. And her personal doctors say that Palin has only been hospitalized for childbirth. Also, her blood pressure and pulse are all reported to be normal.
Floridians who haven't taken advantage of early voting will be heading to the polls today. Some of them there already as the polls open in a little less than an hour. We have reporters all across South Florida, and our team coverage begins with Steve Litz at the South Kendall Community Church, where more than 8,400 people are registered to vote. Steve, good morning.
Bob, good morning. And I just walked the line here. I counted 75, and by the time I got back here to the line, there must be another 20 or 30 people who have joined the line. Two precincts here, Bob, number 759 and number 790. We're right near 152nd Street and Southwest 147th Avenue. Take a look. Carrie, DeLeo, and Verona Pascal, the first two ladies online this morning, they were not interested in risking a long line. Of course, these are the peak times right now before work and also after work, and they are expected to be the busiest times. As you said, Bob, 8,400 registered voters in this precinct. The turnout should be tremendous. Of course, the presidential race is piquing people's interests, but so is the congressional race here. This is the 25th congressional district. Mario Diaz-Balart represents this area. He is in a heated battle with Joe Garcia, former chairman of the Miami-Dade County Democratic Party. We talked with some of the early risers this morning, one Obama supporter and one McCain voter.
Proven, and I like his, at least I know a little bit more about him. He has a history, and if you want to know a man, you look at his history. And I don't know very much about Obama.
Since I was 18, I've been voting, and I've never seen this commotion about the elections.
And what do you think that says about our community and our country?
That everybody wants to change.
We've been talking about it for months now, and this historic day is here. The line continues to grow out here. Elections officials are suggesting you bring your patients. You also might want to bring one of those collapsible chairs. That may make the wait a little easier. We're live in South Kendall this morning. I'm Steve Litz today in South Florida.
In Broward County, it was much of the same during early voting. Those long lines snaked around buildings, and many folks waited up to 6 hours to vote. But today is expected to be quite different. And Bob and I have tallied up the number for Broward and Miami-Dade counties.
Give it to us, Pam.
There are 1,918 precincts open today, compared to 37 early voting sites for both counties. So election officials say those lines and waits should be much shorter. Trina Robinson joins us live. She's at the Broward EOC in Plantation with more. Good morning, Trina.
Well, good morning, Pam, and good morning, Bob, and good morning to all of you out there. Yeah, things should be a whole lot smoother today. This is actually the Nerve Center. It is EOC, but for today it becomes election headquarters. It is going to be where all of the tech support happens here, all of the troubleshooting. If there are any problems with equipment, if there are any problems with anybody happening, they try and vote out there who encounters a problem. So there are a lot of folks already in here basically monitoring things and basically waiting for the precincts to open and making sure everyone has everything they need out in the field so they can help things go very smoothly today. Now, as we looked at things this morning, Dr. Brenda Snipes arrived around 5:30 right on cue. And yes, she is here. She's back in her office right now talking to her, I guess, her immediate honchos who are really going to make sure things go well today. So she is here. She's in the building, and she's already getting things going. So she expects a very smooth election today. She feels like she's been working for months to get things things to be very, very good. Well, again, there's an army of people who really are working behind her, and they have been filing in all morning long, and they will be the folks who, if anything happens out there at the various precincts, they will be the ones that the calls come into. They'll troubleshoot, monitor things, try and get the situation fixed. She says, though, she doesn't really anticipate any problems. As a matter of fact, she thinks that the wait times will be a lot less than expected.
I don't think there'll be a comparison to what we saw in early voting because we will have all precincts open, and so the folks who are going to vote will be spread across all those precincts. So I think maybe the lines will be 10 or 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer in some places.
And so that beats 6 hours. Remember, on Sunday, we had some folks who waited in line 6 hours. That map you're seeing right there that we're zooming in on, you can see that those are all of the precincts, 786 in Broward County. Where you see green, those folks are online and ready to go. So even though things haven't kicked off yet, they're ready to go. So everything looks like it's going to be very good today thus far if everything proceeds as things are going down. There's been a lot of work behind the scenes to get to this day. And again, they're hoping for a smooth election day, no repeat of the last presidential election where we had a bunch of systems failures and the election carried on long past election day. That's the very latest from Broward ELC. Trina Robinson reporting live. Now back to you.
And thanks, Trina. We want to remind all of you this election day that if you feel you're encountering any problems at all, please dial the Election Protection Hotline. There's the number, 866-OUR-VOTE. That's 1-866-OUR-VOTE. If you feel you've been wrongfully prevented from voting or have any problems or questions, just give them a call.
6:09, almost 10 minutes past the hour. Still to come, weather and traffic coming up next.
Also ahead, flames tear through several family-owned businesses, leaving nearly nothing behind.
Plus, thieves target a mall jewelry store during the middle of the day.
You said you're so beautiful. Didn't you say that to me?
No.
See QVC's Gene Weiss and funny man Tom Arnold on The Next Bonnie on NBC 6 HD.
Decision Await is here, and NBC 6 has you covered from now until Election Day. Using the combined resources of NBC News, expect complete coverage from every side. On air, online, NBC 6 HD is everywhere. And now, meteorologist Ryan Phillips with NBC 6 Weather Plus, South Florida's only high-definition forecast.
6:14, good morning to you. Live look outside. Nice to see a little bit of sunlight out there first thing this morning. We also have a deck of clouds in place through the overnight hours. Clouds developing closer to the ground. We had some fog patchy about through the area with visibilities overnight between 1 and 3 miles. Now visibilities between generally 4 and 8 miles. Not a big deal. You'll notice a little bit of cloud cover this morning. The sunshine will power through, and we'll end up with a nice day. We don't have much in the way of shower chances coming for the next few days, but maybe by the weekend, our next cold front to look forward to with a maybe refreshing change for next week. Right now, we are mild, 70 degrees right now at MIA, humidity at 93%, northwest winds at 8. Again, just a layer of clouds in place, especially across the western sections. Out towards the coast, 72 now, Fort Lauderdale, 68 Kendall, and Miccosukee 68 in Homestead. So no active weather to delay you from getting out the door first thing this morning, just not the real vibrant sunshine that we like to see first thing in the morning. Sunrise coming in about 15 minutes. We'll start off right around 70, mostly cloudy skies, but through the afternoon here at True sky conditions with lots of sunshine, just a few clouds out and about, and afternoon highs above average at about 84. We were up to about 85 yesterday. Evening time temperatures around 78. And sunset, unfortunately, coming at about 5:41. That's no fun. That's the only problem with turning those clocks back. Across the region, still being provided with a north and northeasterly breeze thanks to 2 different areas of low pressure at the surface, moving in tandem away from us, off to the north and to the northeast. A copious amount of moisture, though, moving in towards the nation's capital as we progress through our election day, through Virginia and also Maryland and Delaware, also North Carolina, especially central and eastern North Carolina, quite a bit of rain. This is in association with an upper level low, but for us, it's nothing but dry, stable air above. And if you take a good look up into the sky at the cloud deck as it begins to break up, you'll notice nothing above that. It's just that little layer of cloud cover out and about first thing this morning. So very little change to the pattern for today into tomorrow. High pressure kind of skirts through the southeastern states for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We may swing the winds around enough to draw in some moisture, which could bring us an isolated shower chance as we get towards Friday and Saturday, and then maybe our next cold front dropping in by Sunday. Not really at this point looking very potent, but any dip in the dew points, any dip in the mercury is certainly much appreciated this time of year. 84 today, 83 for Wednesday, 82 for Thursday. Great looking forecast, just a chance for isolated showers Friday and Saturday. That's Weather Plus. Now time for traffic and Kristen Kelly.
Thanks, Ryan. Good morning, South Florida. I-95 north and southbound in and out of the Golden Glades as the sun begins to rise. You can see out there that they are actually separate cars and not just a beam of light. It's accident-free from this point right on down to US 1, making it about a 22-minute ride for you. We do have an accident over on Galloway Road northbound and Northwest 8th Street. Watch out for that. It's causing some minor onlooker delays. Other than that, though, your normal congestion is what you'll find in and throughout Miami-Dade. Broward County, much of the same. No accidents to report. 595 east or westbound. Westbound, we do have that construction as you enter onto I-75 southbound, blocking the left lane. Otherwise, that construction on the turnpike is entering the final clearing stages. And as you can see here, eastbound, that congestion has started to pick up from Southwest 136th Avenue. It's coming right on down to even at this point where we're facing University Drive. That's the latest on your traffic and weather together. And now back to your news.
All right, Kristen, thank you. A group of suspected muggers, including 3 minors, are caught red-handed by police in Wilton Manors. 18-year-old Joel Smith was the oldest of the group. According to detectives, Smith, along with 2 17-year-olds and a 15-year-old, beat and robbed a 47-year-old man early Saturday morning near the 2500 block of Northeast 5th Avenue and stole his wallet. Investigators say all 4 were later captured with the man's credit cards in their possession.
Dangerous chemicals and other flammable materials, a recipe for disaster, as Pompano Beach firefighters are called to a flaming warehouse. A 25,000 square foot warehouse housing a sheet metal factory and other private businesses caught fire yesterday afternoon in the 1400 block of 28th Avenue. At least 60 firefighters had to be called in to control the blaze. Fire marshals say hazardous materials, including propane tanks, caused the towering inferno to keep on burning.
Everything's just burning up.
What's it like when you see this?
It's horrible. My wife and I both work here. It's horrible.
It's a very sad thing. They've poured their hearts into this business and worked very hard to build it up to something.
The warehouse expected to be a total loss. Fortunately, no one was hurt. No word right now on what started that blaze.
Well, a dramatic attack is caught on camera when a band of thieves smash and grab pricey bling from a South Florida jewelry store. Police say 4 men armed with a handgun and a crowbar smashed display cases at a Mayor's jewelry store in the Broward Mall in broad daylight. Customers ran for cover as the crooks made off with several Rolex watches. Nobody inside the store was hurt, but if you can help police identify these men, you're urged to call Broward Crime Stoppers at 954-493-TIPS.
19 now, after the hour, 6:19. We want you to know that we're going to do a lot for you today. This is voting day. Joe Carter coming up next to tell you how not to be tricked.
That's right.
That's right. I'm Joe. Hello, welcome. Big questions going around the rumor mill right now on the internet. Can you take a phone into the polling place? Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. Can you vote if you have a parking ticket? We are myth busting this morning. It's all about the election. That story coming up next.
All right, and here's a look now at our job of the day. Zeno Office Solutions looking for outside sales reps. If you're interested, go to our website, NBC6.net.
We'll be right back.
Go jobbing with Today in South Florida's Job of the Day, powered by jobbing.com.
It's time. After all the speeches, conventions, debates, it's time to elect a new president. Join Matt, Meredith, Al, and Ann live from Election Plaza. Countdown to Decision 08 on Today on NBC.
Well, NBC6 wants to put an end to some Election Day myths, so you're not confused when you head to the polls this morning.
And joining us now is the newest member of our morning team, Joe Carter, and he's here to separate fact from fiction. Joe?
Good morning, guys. Political rumors, myths, and outright lies can spread like wildfire through our emails and in cyberspace. And some recent voting rumors have become so widespread and so often repeated, we just have to clear the air for you this morning. The most popular myth running around the internet these days, campaign voters are being warned that they won't be able to vote if they show up at polls wearing a shirt or pin supporting their candidate. The answer to this is simply false. Contrary to what's being reported on the internet, Florida voters are allowed to wear campaign t-shirts and buttons when they go to vote. What you can't do is campaign or attempt to sway other voters while you're in line or within 100 feet of the polling entrance. Have you heard this other one? You can't vote if your house has been foreclosed. The answer, false. Foreclosure in itself does not mean you can't vote. Voters who are currently living in a foreclosed home may continue to vote in their assigned precinct. Voters who have moved from their foreclosed home can also vote, just must do so in their new precinct. Next on the rumor mill, if you have any unpaid parking tickets, warrants, unpaid child support, receive food stamps or welfare, you can't vote. Again, the answer is also false. Absurd things like this pop up almost every election year. They weren't true then, they're not true now. And finally, we got a viewer email from Dave Robinson, and he wants to know, is it illegal to use your cell phone once inside the polling station? The answer, again, false. You are allowed to use your cell phone inside or outside of the polling area, but please, be respectful of others. Absolutely. Use good etiquette. Another good rule of thumb when it comes to election truth on the internet, do your homework, guys. It's simple. Do your homework. We've done ours. So just go to NBC6.net, click on news links at the top of the homepage, then look for voting rumors, and of course, click on it. If you've heard of any other good voting rumors, shoot me an email. It's joe.carter@NBC6.net. Guys?
Thank you, Joe.
Well, the time now is 25 minutes past 6 o'clock. We're working on a whole lot more for our next half hour of news.
That's right. Coming back, a check on traffic and weather together. Also, here's Steve.
And good morning, Pam. It is official. Election Day is here. And at this polling place in Southwest Miami-Dade, the line is stretching into the street. A live report coming up.
Plus, we're going to show you some of the tools NBC6.net is doing to make your election day a little bit easier. We'll be back.
NBC6, we have the best technology, but we also have the best weather team.
Waking up to a beautiful start.
With the most years of experience.
Strongest cold front of the
We're committed to bringing you the most accurate forecast.
Chief Meteorologist Paul Diano and the Weather Plus team on NBC6 HD.
Ellen celebrates Election Day and the biggest turnout in history.
Everywhere I went, I saw people lined up around the block. It was for High School Musical 3, but still.
With Anderson Cooper and Bill Maher, all new Ellen.
Today at 5 on NBC6 HD.
Closed captioning on NBC6 is brought to you by UHealth, the University of Miami Health System, powered by the groundbreaking research and medical excellence of the Miller School of Medicine.
From South Florida's news leader, this is Today in South Florida on NBC6 HD.
And good morning to you, everybody. It's Election Day, Tuesday, November 4th, 2008. The time is exactly 6:30. I'm Bob Mayer.
And I'm Pam Giganti. Thank you for joining us this morning. As you just saw in that live shot outside, it's a little bit foggy. Let's get you on over to meteorologist Ryan Phillips to update us on our weather for today, Election Day. Hi, Ryan.
Bob, Pam, good morning to you. Live look outside here. We come on up and towards the metro area. The live shot down at Key West with mainly clear skies there, but the low clouds and some fog in place across the metro will lead to kind of a dreary start to the day. Now, down at the surface, the visibility is still fairly decent, but not exactly a picture-perfect start to our morning. But as the sun comes up, we'll burn through all that, and we'll get back to sunny skies through the afternoon hours. Temperatures going this way. It's actually kind of mild out. 72 in Fort Lauderdale, 70 in Miami. Winds out of the north and northwest at about 5 to 15 during the overnight hours. And in Key West with mainly clear skies, we've got light winds there from the north. 72 degrees, not a bad start to our day. Inland locations here in the two-county area, generally into the upper 60s. A pleasant start with just some cloud cover around, the sun burning through that. But we're not the only ones experiencing the low clouds really widespread across the peninsula through the overnight hours. Some locations up the road here with some patchy dense fog. But not a big issue for us first thing this morning. We'll just go with a deck of cloud cover in place. Morning clouds giving way to afternoon sun. 84 today. Nice looking day with north to northeast winds picking up at 10 to 15 knots for the boaters and seas at 2 to 4 feet. The rest of the work week looking good. 6th day in just a bit. Right now, time for traffic and Metro Traffic's Kristen Kelly.
Thanks, Ryan. Good morning, South Florida. Dolphin Expressway east and westbound. You can see that line of cars moving eastbound still a little bit lighter than normal, which is always nice. About a 21-minute commute as you make your way from the turnpike down to 95. Accident-free here. Over on Galloway Road, though, northbound and northwest 8th Street, we do have an accident in Miami-Dade, so watch out for that. It's causing some minor onlooker delays. Also, as we take a look in Broward County, I-95 north and southbound right around Griffin Road, you can see here traffic moving very well. No accidents to report throughout Broward County. As you're making your way from the Golden Glades up to 595, expect about a 20-minute commute, and about a 23-minute ride takes you from 595 up to Hillsborough Boulevard by way of 95 northbound. That's the latest on your traffic and weather together. Now back to your news.
The big day is finally here. In less than 24 hours, we should be bringing you America's choice for the next president of the United States. Senator Barack Obama's home in Chicago this morning after completing his last push for blue votes in red states. The Democratic presidential candidate had a full day of campaigning yesterday, beginning in the Sunshine State with a rally in Jacksonville, then moved northward to North Carolina and wrapped things up in Virginia. Obama will rally one last time in Indiana today.
And the Republican presidential candidate topped his opponent in last-minute stops, completing a marathon sweep this morning in Nevada. Senator McCain stumped in key battleground states, fighting one last time for himself and other party members on the eve of this huge election. McCain made stops in 7 states, including Florida and Pennsylvania. Today, he'll have his final hurrah out in Colorado.
Well, the turnout of voters across America today is expected to shatter records.
Though most polls show Senator Obama as the front runner in this historic election, Senator John McCain says he will make a defiant comeback. He says the Mac is back. Just as in Miami-Dade County, a large voter turnout is expected, and in Broward as well.
Our team coverage continues now with Roxanne Vargas. She's at a polling site right here in Miramar, where more than 3,000 voters are registered. Good morning, Roxy.
And good morning to you, Bob and Pam. That's right. We're right in Miramar, right in front, right at the Eastern Financial Building. 3 precincts here, WO22, WO19, and WO26. 3,240 voters are registered right here at these 3 precincts, right here at the Eastern Financial Building. Now, the line started very early this morning. The first person lined up and was parked here actually at 4:30 in the morning. But right now, the line, it curves right around the corner of the parking lot. You're taking a look at video here from Lorna Dillon. She arrived here, like I said, right before 4:30 this morning with her son in the back, Brandon, of course, and she came ready to go with her ballot so she could look it over to see what she's going to do about that. And she was concerned because of all of the early voting. She wanted to be here early as can be. Now, 17 locations were open for early voting over 2 weeks in Broward, and today 786 polls are open, but still plenty of people lining up this morning. But listen to what Lorna had to say this morning.
And I also tried the Sheridan Street Library, and the line was so long. So I decided that today I'll just wait today and be the first one in line. Seeing that I live up the street, I want to be the first one this morning to vote so I could be at work at 9 o'clock.
And just like Lorna, you want to make sure that you bring your sample ballot. Also bring an ID picture with your signature. That's going to get you in to vote. That's the latest here in Miramar. Over to my colleague now, Steve Litz, live in Kendall.
Hi, Roxanne. You beat me. Your first voter there at 4:30. We had our first voter here about 5:15 this morning. South Kendall is where we are in southwest Miami-Dade. We have 2 precincts here, Roxanne, 759 and 790. And take a look behind me here. Several hundred people now online. This is South Kendall Community Church, 152nd Street, right near 147th Avenue. Take a look at all these folks that showed up. The line actually started just after 5 a.m. And look at some of the video of the first 2 people who were online, Carrie DeLeo and Verona Pascal. They were not interested in being toward the back of the line. That's why they got here so early. Of course, this is a peak time right now. After work will also be a peak time. In these precincts here, a little more than 8,000 registered voters, and as is the case, county-wide turnout should be tremendous. Yes, the presidential race is piquing people's interest, but so is the congressional race. This is the 25th congressional district here. Mario Diaz-Balart represents this area. He is in a heated battle with Joe Garcia, his Democratic challenger, former chairman of the Miami-Dade Democratic Party. We talked with some of those early risers right there, one Obama supporter and one McCain voter.
Proven, and I like his, at least I know a little bit more about him. He has a history, and if you want to know a man, you look at his history. And I don't know very much about Obama.
Since I was 18, I've been voting, and I've never seen this commotion about the elections.
And what do you think that says about our community and our country?
That everybody wants to change.
Already a historic day now underway and will officially begin in about 20 minutes when these doors open. And Several hundred people here who are online will start to vote. Again, this line continues to grow. Bring your patients. You may want to bring one of those collapsible chairs. That'll help in the wait, too. We're live in South Kendall this morning. I'm Steve Litz today in South Florida.
Thank you, Steve. NBC6.net/politics will have incredible resources for you on this historic election day. To supplement our coverage here on NBC6, the newest member of our morning team, Joe Carter.
Hi, Bob. We are just hours away from an historical election, and there's a great deal of information as voters to sift through. But NBC6.net/politics is helping you. We've got information on more than 100 races locally, statewide, and nationally. Here's just some of what you'll find on NBC6.net/politics. We can compare the candidates side by side, see where they stand on the issues, get headlines from the campaign trail, and review video from the presidential debates. We've got all kinds of voter resources from poll locations, a breakdown of the Florida amendments on the ballot, local candidate races, and of course, Nick Bogert's political blog. Again, this is a very interactive, all-new political webpage, up-to-the-minute info as the results are coming in. That's NBC6.net/politics. Everything you need to know to navigate through your election day today. Bob, Pam?
All right, Joe, thank you. Well, if you can't find your voter registration card and you're not really sure what your precinct is, we've got help for you. Just go to a computer and log on to NBC6.net. Once you're on our homepage, click on the Decision 2008 tab. We'll take you to our 2008 Candidate Minutes page where you can scroll down. You're going to find links for Broward, Monroe, Miami-Dade counties. Click on the Voting Locations tab under your county. You'll then be directed to another website with a precinct finder. And if you type in your home address and click on Locate Precinct, it will tell you exactly where you need to go. Now, we want to remind you on this election day, if you feel that you're encountering any problems at the polls, you can dial the Election Protection Hotline. It's 1-866-OUR-VOTE. If you feel you've been wrongfully prevented from voting or have any questions, go ahead and just give them a call.
The time now is exactly 21 minutes before 7 o'clock. Traffic and...
I'm Diana Gonzalez at Miami-Dade County Election Headquarters. As you can see, there's a line forming, and those are going to be people casting absentee ballots, and the regular polls will be opening in just about 20 minutes. We'll be right back.
Okay, great. And good morning, I'm Trina Robinson, live at the Broward EOC as we count down to the election. Most of the polls are ready to go. I have a live report from here coming up.
Wednesday is the new night for justice.
I like the sound of this.
Kits on the case on a new Knight Rider. Allow me to drive. Then the Wednesday premiere of Life.
I want to show you my badge.
Still here.
Solving television's most fascinating cases. And the original Wednesday crime drama is back.
Just get me the indictment.
The season premiere of Law and Order.
Justice by other means.
Knight Rider, Life, and Law and Order. Wednesday, the new night for justice on NBC.
And now, meteorologist Ryan Phillips with NBC6 Weather Plus, South Florida's only high-definition forecast.
6:43, good morning to you. Live look outside. This is our camera Cocoa Walk, and obviously we've got some low clouds out and about in place so far this morning. No real dense fog, but not exactly a picture-perfect start to our morning. And no rain either. We're going to start off the day with just mostly cloudy skies, visibility between about 4 and 8 miles. The sunshine will just power through this. We'll start to get these clouds lifting, and we'll be in for some sunshine this afternoon. So don't let this throw you. Not picture perfect, but we've got an okay day ahead. All right, first and foremost, let's talk about the month of November now. Of course, today the 4th day, but as we look from the first of the month, where our average highs are about 83, we get to the end of the month, and by the statistical 30-year average here, our highs are back down to about 79. Morning lows at the start of the month are around 70. And by the end of the month here in Miami, morning lows average about 65 degrees. Now, will it be 70 every morning? Will it be 65? No, it won't. This is just a long-term average, just to give you an idea that still this is the time of year where we start to see a dip in the average highs and lows. And it's a really nice time of the year all the way around for us. Also dry, too. Only about 3.4 inches of rain is what we average in Miami in the month of November. Starting out at about 70 degrees at MIA. Up the road in Fort Lauderdale, it's 72. Further up, 70 in Pompano. Upper 60s will do it across the inland locations. Again, mostly cloudy skies that will eventually give way to partly sunny, if not partly cloudy skies through the afternoon hours. Not looking for much in the way of rain. The atmosphere is very dry and stable. About 70 this morning to 84 this afternoon. Yesterday's high about 85. Not bad at all because the atmosphere is so dry. So getting into the mid 80s, not a big deal because there's really no moisture in the atmosphere. It's very dry, with the exception of that thin layer of moisture in place this morning in the form of the cloud cover. So the cloud cover widespread here across the peninsula this morning, but again, with those northerly breezes, the sunshine wins out. We don't really have a change in the pattern to speak of over the course of the next few days. High pressure will start to skirt across the southeastern states as we get into Thursday and Friday. Perhaps we turn the winds around enough to draw in a little bit of moisture, and then we'll see a slim rain chance for Friday and into Saturday. Then our next cold front will probably die out as it gets into South Florida. I don't really see a big cool down coming as we get at the end of the 6-day period, but for the most part, we'll pull the temperatures back just a touch by the time we get to the weekend. 67 tonight, again, after a day's high of 84, partly cloudy skies, looking pretty good. 6-day forecast, really no big changes from yesterday. We'll be looking for warm afternoons and comfortable mornings, about 83 for your Wednesday, 82 on Thursday, then 83 for Friday with isolated shower chances, and that holds true for Saturday as well. But the upcoming weekend looking pretty good. Cold front tries to get in here by Sunday, and that could bring a touch of cooler weather for us here. As we look ahead to Sunday, the Dolphins will be back at home against the Seahawks in the afternoon. That's Weather Plus. Now it's time for a check on traffic with Metro Traffic's Kristen Kelly. Morning, Kristen.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, South Florida. It's a little bit hazy out there just because of our camera for the most part in this area at the 826 at Northwest 122nd Street. You can see your southbound commute. That's where all the congestion is, moving from the left to the right of your screen. We're accident-free out here. Hopefully it stays that way. Your northbound commute looking very clear out there. Southbound, though, as you make your way from I-75 down to the 836, look for it to take you about 26 minutes. And again, we're accident-free in Miami-Dade. Broward County looking at much of the same. 595 east and westbound normal congestion is what you're contending with out there as you get ready to get out and head out to the polls this morning. Traffic looking good east and westbound. Westbound, you have that construction as you enter onto I-75 southbound. It's blocking the left lane. Eastbound, as you move from Weston down to the airport, you're going to notice that your ride is taking you about 18 minutes out there. Turnpike has cleared up its construction, and over on 95, we're accident free. That's the latest on your traffic and weather together. Now back to your news.
It is 6:47. Early voting ended Sunday, giving election officials one full day yesterday to prepare for all the precincts to open today.
That's right. Diana Gonzalez continues her Decision 2018 coverage this morning. She's live at the Miami-Dade Elections headquarters with more. Good morning, Diana.
Good morning, and yes, they are ready here, and a spokesperson for the Miami-Dade County Elections Department put into perspective this whole issue of voter turnout, because we're hearing 80 to 85% voter turnout, but that's the total. Already, 40% of Miami-Dade County's 1.2 million registered voters voted either through early voting or through absentee ballots. So today, they're expecting another 40 to 45% of our voters between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. this evening. And here, this is an absentee ballot place to vote or a place to drop off your absentee ballots. And already, there are about 25 people in line. They've been letting some people inside. And I wanted to show also video from earlier this morning where workers started arriving at about 5 a.m. Here are some of the absentee voters in line, and some of them are here because of some confusion. Listen to Donato Solis, who didn't know exactly what location he was supposed to go to vote.
I lost my card. I can't find it. And they told me yesterday I can do it over here because this is like the main, the headquarters, right?
That's right. This is the headquarters, and he will be allowed to vote using an absentee ballot. And in terms of dropping off ballots that you've already filled out, that process is going to be a lot quicker, but you do need a picture ID for that. If you're dropping it off for someone else, you need a letter of authorization. So make sure you have that if indeed you're dropping off absentee ballots. Now, in terms of early voting compared to what's going to be going on today, there were only 20 places in Miami-Dade County where you could early vote. Today, there are 542 locations to cast your vote. So while there will be long lines, it's not going to be anywhere near. They don't expect it to be anywhere near as long as it was for early voting. Let's check in now at Broward EOC with Trina Robinson to see what the situation is up there. Trina?
Well, good morning, Diana. Yeah, things are going pretty smoothly right now. They've got a lot of manpower here awaiting the opening of the polls. I want to draw your attention to a map that shows exactly how they're going thus far. You see the map there over on the wall where you see the green. Those are the polls that are ready to go. Now, there are going to be 786 precincts, so there are still some that have not, as of given the all clear that they are ready. But by 7 o'clock, we hope they will be. Now, as you look at this also, once this all turns purple, that means everything is shutting down for the evening. The orange kind of shade, that's for secured. If you see on the little legend there, red would light up if there's a problem at the polls. And remember, last election for the primaries, we did have some glitches. So if you see that red, that would mean there is a problem. Now, the woman of the hour is Dr. Brenda Snipes. And of course, she is going to be overseeing this entire election. And she arrived here at about 5:30 a.m. this morning. Right now, she's meeting in a back room, talking to her folks about exactly how things should go and what they expect and what problems to look out for. Where we are today is basically the technical center, the nerve center of all of this. So if there are any problems, the calls would come in here and then they would get out there and take care of that problem. Now, Dr. Snipes talked to us last night. She'll be talking again probably after the polls open, but she talked to us last night and said she actually doesn't expect huge wait times today.
I don't think there'll be a comparison to what we saw in early voting. Because we will have all precincts open, and so the folks who are going to vote will be spread across all those precincts. So I think maybe the lines will be 10 or 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer in some places.
Well, you know what? Actually, the room that I am in is where all of the media are. And actually, as we go through the day, they're anticipating media from around the world to fill this actual little room I'm in. I'm kind of caged in here. And they will be watching this election because of the meltdown we had in 2004 and that Florida really became a focus of the election. Now, Dr. Brenda Snipes, after she leaves this location, she'll go out to actual poll sites and monitor things firsthand. They haven't told us exactly which sites she will go to, but after all of the precincts are open successfully, she will talk to us. She'll end her day at about 6 p.m. tonight. At that point, she'll go to Lauderhill to the voting center, the voting equipment center, and wind things down with all the tabulating of the votes. That is the very latest from Broward EOC. I'm Trina Robinson, reporting live. Back to you in the studio.
I know you haven't
Thanks,
voted
Trini.
yet, but the one thing that I found is that it does take a lot longer to vote with these essentially paper ballots that we have now than it did in 04 when we had the electronic machines.
Right.
It was quick and easy, but they didn't leave a paper trail.
Right. Had they left the paper trail, we wouldn't have had all of this
I agree.
rigmarole. All right, it's 6:52. We'll be right back.
NBC6 Weather Plus Doppler Radar is brought to you by the Miccosukee Tribe of Indians of Florida.
It's time, after all the speeches, conventions, debates, it's time to elect a new president. Join Matt, Meredith, Al, and Ann live from Election Plaza. Countdown to Decision 08 on today on NBC.
And remember, NBC6 is your place for politics, covering all angles of Decision 08 on all of our platforms. Today, you'll see us at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and then at 6, 7, and 11 p.m.
We will also have updates every half hour in live local primetime election coverage from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Digital 6.2, Comcast Channel 216, or Atlantic Broadband Channel 650. And as always, we'll be streaming live on NBC6.net.
And that is it for us. Good weather for voting.
You bet. 84 this afternoon.
Wow.
Thanks for
fantastic.
watching.
All right. Bye-bye. Make it a great day.
Thank you for watching NBC6 HD. Join Bob Mayer, Trina Robinson, Kelly Craig, and Roxanne Vargas right after the Today Show for South Florida Today. And for news 24 hours a day, visit us on NBC6.net.